Good morning and welcome to Crypto Charts Daily. This is the Crypto Charts Daily Report. Today is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Let's get right into it. The market has increased by 1% here this morning. The market's up to $3.91 trillion. The CMC20 also increasing here by 1%. Fear and greed coming up here, I think 2 points from yesterday. Altcoin season. We are starting to see the start perhaps of altcoin season. Bitcoin slipping here compared to the alts, and the average crypto RSI looks overbought. All right, guys, before we get into the technical analysis, the nitty-gritty of what we do here every day, and again, guys, if you are unfamiliar, the Crypto Charts Daily Report, we do a deep dive in the technical analysis on the top three and many other altcoins every single day. And if you appreciate that I'm not AI, I am a real person. My name is Tanner. I trade in between a Coinbase 1 and Coinbase 2 VIP. That means that my trading volume, my monthly trading volume is between 500,000 and a million. It doesn't mean that I have that much money. It means that my trading volume is in between that amount. So I'm a Coinbase VIP, but it does mean that I trade often. I trade these levels, these price levels that I'm showing you guys here all the time. And I've been making a living off crypto for the past few years. So with that being said, guys, if you appreciate that I'm not AI and I take the time to give you guys this information that I use to make a full-time living, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and perhaps share this video with your friends, guys. I appreciate it. Now let's get right into the technical analysis. Starting off with Bitcoin, like always, we've observed that price has reacted from this order block here, held this order block nicely. And now we just want price to break this daily order block here, or this daily resistance that broke this low here. Jumping down onto the 4-hour, you can see our resistance here at about 113. And like we've been saying over the past week, we'd like to see price close above the high of 113,500 to perhaps go ahead and break highs or test some resistance here. If price ends up rejecting the high of 113,500 again, I'd look to see if price closes within this order block or disrespects this order block. And if we end up closing then below 109,500 on the day or week, it would indicate price will probably go down and test some support. Ethereum, again, guys, waiting for Ethereum to push out of this support or order block that broke this high here. On this next daily candle here, I'd look for price to break 4,383 on the day. And if we close above that on the day, I'd look for price to test resistance here. If we could break past the highs of 4,600, I think it would be looking good to go then test all-time highs again. If we do get rejected though out of this resistance here, as you guys could see, we broke this low, the first low to test this order block and this support. We broke that low, and then we go and we retest here this resistance or this order block that then price reacted to and can't push past. So again, if we go up and we test that again over the next few days or weeks here at about $4,500. If we test it and get rejected, again, I'd expect price to then go test this support some more and perhaps take out this liquidity that's been forming over the past few weeks. XRP, guys, doing exactly what we thought it would do after breaking this flip zone. Support turned resistance, now hopefully turns support again. And again, over the past few days, we were monitoring this break. And now we could look for that retest of 283. I think a solid retest zone would be this high here, this order block. Again, last bearish candle, last bullish candle creates a daily order block here, matching with the price, matching with the support price now of 28384. So again, guys, just looking for that break and retest. Possible resistance zone now for XRP is this flip right here. I'd expect to see resistance now at about 311, excuse me, and that could push price down into this zone. Jumping into the altcoins, Binance coin here, we are just looking for either a break of these lows at 8431 or a break of the highs at 900. We were saying all last week it would be healthier to get a retest of lows, and I still think that, but we could definitely just accumulate into a blow off here. Solana, we did have the break and retest of our 188 zone here. And over the past few days, we have been saying price could just accumulate into a blow off and run to 260 or test some sort of resistance up here. Cardano closing in that resistance zone. We could see support, flipped resistance, and now we closed above that resistance in this order block. So again, over the next day, look for this to close strong and we could get a push towards highs. Chainlink, again, we're looking for a break of this resistance here at about $23, $24. And if we end up getting rejected and coming down, we'll look for the break of this low of $21. If we could break and close above, though, the high of $24, we will probably go and test this resistance of $26. Stellar Lumens, we are still trading below resistance. So again, we are just going to look to see how it reacts from that 40 cents now resistance zone. If it breaks above like XRP, we will look for the retest of 40 cents. If we end up getting rejected, we'll look for the break of this low of 34 cents to then go test higher time frame support. Avalanche, I would love to see a sweep of all this liquidity now and a test of support, but we could definitely just accumulate into the break like we've been predicting over the past few days here of $27. Hedra doing exactly what we expected, breaking highs, filling some imbalance, and now today we are testing that 23-cent resistance now. But over the next few days, if we do close strong, just like XRP, again, guys, we'll look for that break and retest of 23 cents for some possible upside to higher time frame resistances. If we do end up getting wicked out here and rejected, which is quite likely after tapping into this order block and this resistance, paired with this imbalance, it's very likely that we come down for these lows now of 20 cents. But if the market is strong and if we do see some sort of alt season, again, looking for that break and retest. Polkadot, we are just accumulating. Hopefully we could break this resistance and this relative high of about $4.30. And then we could possibly see a run up to higher time frame resistance of $6. But again, if we get wicked here, look for price to break down. Uniswap bouncing between this minor support and resistance here. We broke highs, so we then look at this order block. The last bearish candle, the last bullish candle becomes our support here, and we are just trading in between that. So over the next few days, look for either price to close within this order block or above this order block of $10. And if we close above, we'll look for a run to highs. If we get wicked out and close below, we'll look for then price to go break these lows of $8.70. Ondo bouncing between the support and resistance of 90 cents and $1, just accumulating here. If we do break above $1, we will look for the break and retest here. If we end up wicking and get it rejected, obviously we'll look for the low and the break of that support at 90 cents. Polygon, nothing new, just looking for the break and retest of that 30-cent resistance. Algorand, same analysis as the past few days, filling this imbalance, and if we end up wicking, we will then probably go look for the break of these lows at 22 cents to then go sweep out this 4-hour order block. But if we could close above the highs of 24.67 or the highs of this, there is a lot of resistance here, but if we could close above the highs and start seeing strength, I'd expect a run up to that higher time frame resistance. Quant finally accumulating and tapping into our order block. We've been waiting a few weeks for this, so now we'll just see how this ends up playing out. Will we end up tapping and closing above these highs here of about 104 and perhaps going to retest support? I mean, resistance, excuse me. Or will we end up breaking down on the day and closing below these lows and going down to get that liquidity? IOTA, same analysis as yesterday in that order block that actually failed to break highs. Looking for a reaction out of that. Will price end up closing above this resistance here of 20 cents? If we end up closing above this high here, I'd expect price to make a run for highs. If we end up getting rejected, then obviously we'll look for the sweep of this order block. XDC, guys, still accumulating within that break and retest. Again, accumulation, and we'll see if we test support one more time before then going to test resistance. All right, guys, that was the daily report today. If you enjoyed this type of in-depth technical analysis and you appreciate that I'm not an AI robot and I take the time out to make these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it a ton. And if you told your friends to buy crypto at highs and they got retraced on 40% and they now hate you, go ahead and share this video with them. All right, guys, peace out.